What is up, everyone? Episode 5. We got a cool episode. We got a guest joining us here today. We'll introduce him in just a minute, but right now we're going to go with some headlines. And it's going to be some big headlines because we got obviously a lot of guys making the roster. There'll probably be a ton more next episode, but right now we got just a quick few ones. Number 1, Jackson Jobe makes the roster. I mean, I had a feeling, but I didn't know it was that locked in.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Sure.
I mean, we talked about him last week. Dude's a stud. It'll be an absolute beast. Keep an eye out for Jackson Jobe. His stuff's gonna probably go up if he has some success.
Oh yeah, for
Next guy. I don't know, Kobe, how you feel about this one? Victor Scott.
Didn't he already make the majors last year?
Yeah, he got sent down pretty quick, but maybe he refines his game. He's got to be a contact guy. You know, he's not going to hit for power, but he's fast as hell. I mean, I know there's some interest in Chandler Simpson right now, so maybe Victor Scott follows suit.
For sure.
This is a big one, obviously. Drake Baldwin.
It's an interesting one.
It is. I mean, you know, the Braves got a catcher right now with Sean Murphy. He's hurt at the moment, but
yeah,
this seemingly is a nice step for him to step in and make some noise and maybe take over that catcher spot eventually. I mean, I know they have Sean Murray for a bit, but he looks really good. His bat looks really good. So we got some other news. We got Max Muncy for the Athletics making the roster.
Shocker.
Which was a surprise. I did get some info. I did get some quick info of why he made the roster. Zach Geloff broke his hamate bone in his hand.
Okay, so that's a valid reason.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't think Max Muncy was ready, and I didn't think he stood out enough in spring. But seemingly, I mean, this is them saying, "Here's your chance, make it happen."
For sure.
We got quick thing. We got the Sox, big 3 going to the Mexico series for spring. And that's a cool one. I mean, we're going to see them play, but in light of that, we actually get the official word that Christian Campbell makes the roster for the Red Sox officially.
Big deal.
Let's hope it works. We were in desperate need, obviously, of a starting second baseman. So let's fucking hope so, man. We need his stuff seemingly going to obviously probably have a nice jump here. So if you're a holder of Christian Campbell, I think you should probably sell him, but you never know. Got one more quick thing, and we finally have the sell of the Paul Skenes debut patch autos.
Oh yeah.
We got it at a cool $1.1 million, and the seller or the buyer came out, and it seems to be Dick's Sporting Goods. The owner of Dick's Sporting Goods seems to be the buyer of this. Yeah.
Just be normal.
All right. So, and those are the headlines for this episode real quick. We're going to have a ton next week. I mean, I can't imagine all these guys going to make the roster. But just real quick, this is going to be more of a special episode. We're going to make this the versus episode, we're calling it. So it's a lot of comparison, contract, everything. But, you know, I'm not going to hold it anymore. Let's bring our guest in. We got my boy Simi. What's up, buddy?
Guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you, buddy. You guys don't know Simeon. He is on Instagram, ShadyCollects, often a big seller on Facebook and stuff. So if you don't follow him, give him a follow. Obviously, has some great sales.
Oh, for sure.
But real quick, let's get this going. So, got a few topics to talk about. Right now, before we get to our versus section, we want to talk about something that we actually FaceTime last night for about 4 hours with each other.
Longer than that.
Yeah. Well, we played MLB The Show and just watched Simeon sleep. Essentially.
Bro, dude, that card show killed me.
Oh Lord, Simeon was doing a sale. We were just like following him on his sale on Facebook and Instagram while we played the show. It was great.
I got like 30 hours on that game now. It's ridiculous.
I know. I played so long last night.
But dude, I've got to get it.
You got to get a PlayStation.
You do.
Yeah, maybe.
So one thing we did talk about last night, and we did argue about it quite. We did this before on the podcast, talked about it, but one thing I do want to talk about is just let's talk about the parallels right now in the hobby and what's going on with everything. Because I feel like, there's such a big difference right now in what's going on with parallels and just prices, and not just the different parallels, but the same numbering, but not being a true color or a shimmer or a wave or an aqua, blah, 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 whatever it's called. In my opinion, like I told you guys, I really like just the rarity. I like having a card that's out of 50. I don't care if it's a true gold, a gold shim, a gold wave, a gold lava, whatever the fuck they're called now. I just like that it's out of 50. I just kind of don't like the pettiness. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is it petty that people are being like, oh, it's not a true gold. I don't buy non-true colors?
Well, honestly, I think it's just a hobby thing. We always see the true colors sell for more. I mean, we have the blue. We talked about this extensively last night. We talked about blue waves and not blue waves and HTA refractors. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell which one gets more love. I mean, you look at the numbers, you can't really tell which one gets more. But like, I know me personally, I'd rather have the blue wave than the HTA because it's better eye appeal. But to touch back on the out of 50 thing, like, would you really rather have that? If you're really investing in a player, would you rather have the gold wave or the true gold?
True gold.
All day. That's what I'm saying.
Sam, what do you want to say here?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the numbers, like true golds, all true products do better. Like your true blues, it's a no-brainer on that one. I'm sorry, Dakota.
Yeah, I know. I just don't think it's justified. Like, I know it's true. They look nice, but when you talk about eye appeal, like you look at some of these gold shimmers and they look incredible. They look incredible. I like them. I like them a lot. I'm a big. I like the weird stuff. I just think they pop more. They're more of like I know the gold, the true golds. They're very clean. They're very. It's like going to a nice fancy dinner. It looks nice. It's a fancy, bro. I want to be at fucking Texas Roadhouse with my gold shimmer. Okay, Semi. I know we love the rolls there, baby. We do.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, coming back to what you're saying though, I can't justify a gold wave looking better than a true gold though. I understand your shimmer point, but just the aspect of that true gold doesn't beat the wave. Maybe the shimmer, maybe the lava, but not the wave, which is more commonly seen.
Are these price differences justified? Like I'm looking at a call it true gold. So. I think I had the true gold Marcelo Mayer, right? PSA 10. I think it was like 2021, 2200. And I think like the gold shim would probably be at like 1200 in a PSA 10. How is that justified?
It's justified by eye appeal. And it's justified by hobby loveness, I think. Like for me, it would go true gold.
I think it's petty.
Gold sapphire, and then you'd have the waves and the shimmers.
I just think it's petty. Like, but like, why do we? Okay, so we don't like, people don't like gold shims. Then why do you like gold sapphires? What's the fucking difference?
It's the cracked ice, man. They just look prettier.
Those look so good.
The sapphire looks great.
Like
I can't justify it. I can't. They're both out of 50 golds.
Is it me, or would I sometimes take a sapphire over a true color? Because I picked up a Connor Griffin green sapphire today, auto, and man, does that thing look good compared to like a true gold?
What I'm saying. This is the funny part.
I understand that.
The funny part about his true green Connor Griffin is the true green and
don't point at me.
The true green and the green sapphire comp for the same amount. They're both a $400 card.
Yeah,
but this is what I'm saying. Right there, what's the difference? Like, come on. Just because it's
none of
that. What eye appeal, man.
So, and here, this is where I'll argue with sapphire. How hard is it to pull a fucking sapphire like nice color right now? With, I mean, I know they guarantee the autos
not as hard,
but they're not as hard because they guarantee the autos. But how expensive are these sapphire boxes now?
And they're expensive, but there's less of it. There's so much less of it.
And those things were like they were scalped so hard immediately on release. I think they're probably selling for $1,000 now.
Me and Simi tried. It was ridiculous. I don't think so because pre-sale was $650 when we tried.
Yeah,
and MSRP was $550.
Yeah, they're probably worth a ton now. And this is my saying, like, it's not like there's a Sapphire jumbo box you can get for $300 or like $1,000 with 3 autos. There's a single Sapphire box with 1 auto.
Fair enough.
You know, Sapphire should be worth more, but I just don't think there should be that much of a gap between waves and trues.
That's fair.
That's just how I feel. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Buy my waves then.
But now let's talk about, like, why are purples comping the same as refractors?
Those things are ugly, man. I'm not gonna lie. A
I
purple's
hate
ugly.
purples. You know how hard it is to move a purple? Nobody wants purple. The only time anyone buys a purple is if it's Roman Anthony, Walker Jenkins, or a top prospect. That's the only way anyone ever buys purple.
Can I dish some crap on Dakota right now?
No, fine.
Dakota, I love you and I appreciate you bringing me on your podcast. But when I first met you, you were the guy who loved purples, and I was talking to Colby about this random guy that I know.
I do love purples.
This guy's a friggin' idiot, man. He's like, oh, I love purples. I'm like, dude, I'll sell this guy all my purples. I'm like, who wants fucking purples? I am sorry.
You know what's the worst
They're
part
a
about
phenomenal budget buy. But for example, here we go.
But they're
never clean.
Great story. Here we go.
I remember this. I remember Simeon telling me this.
I bought my Roman Anthony last year. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
For $430 in spring training. Or $530. It dropped to like $300. It's a purple. It's now worth probably $1,000+. I don't give a shit. There's 250 of them. That is what I want. I want rarity. You know what? You don't like them? Go get your fucking base autos. I'll keep my purple. You haters.
I'd take a base auto over a fucking purple any day.
See, and you know what? You know what this is? It's because you both like football. Because you like
we're Bowman snobs.
Oh, you guys like, but you're like, oh, dude, you got optic silvers of a quarterback. You think why are those worth money?
We don't even collect football.
Simi does.
My like
Simi doesn't own a football card. That's it.
Simi's over there.
That's because we're Pats fans, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh God, I know, right? It much sucks for you guys. Go Bills. How does it feel to lose the division? And you're going to continue to
How does it feel to split to the worst team in football every year?
How many Super Bowls do y'all have?
I don't want to. The future is now. The future is now. We're moving on.
You're not going to get anywhere. All right, we're not a football podcast.
Yeah. So, real quick before we get to our versus section, Simi,
it's gonna be good.
Do your thing. Tell us about your show that you drove 2.5 hours for.
Whew. All right. Oh, you want me to rant about the guy who wouldn't take my offer?
We want everything. That's why I put it in there.
Extensive details.
We want
Can
everything.
You use the slurs you call them too?
Okay. To preference, this was a middle-aged white dude with his son. There were no slurs that were like used. So
he's a minority anyway, so it's okay.
Cool. So should I start with yesterday or today?
Oh, both.
All right. Yesterday was a good show.
Chronological.
Okay. Yesterday was a good show. I went with two of my friends. One of them, interesting guy. Let's just say I had a headache after the day, but is what it is. So went to the show, a new small show down in Kittery, Maine, and figured we'd give it a shot. We got there right at opening, and actually it was decent. There's probably about 20 tables. Really Bowman dominated, which was kind of cool. There were like 2 or 3 tables that had some really nice stuff. And I walked in there probably spending maybe.
It's actually kind of crazy because
I have a question
like
about that too.
A lot of the shows I go to around here, dude, there's like no Bowman. Like within an hour of here, I'm like in Western New York. Not trying to brag at all. I'm not being like a bragger, but like I'm like the Bowman king when it comes to Western New York. They can set up. It's very hard for me to go around shows and I can buy things here and there. When it comes to baseball, it's like me and my partner Rick, who's obviously we know Rick on here, but it's just weird. Like, and I hear you guys go to shows all the time and buy these Bowman cards. I'm like, dude,
Well,
I have cash burning a hole in my pocket. I want to buy these things at local shows because I can do better. But like, they're never here.
I think baseball's
Dakota,
pretty
I'll tell you
special
why.
in Southern Maine. I think there's a good baseball showing here with the AA team, and
that was gonna be my point.
Baseball's a money sport, and there's a lot of people that have.
We
the
have a
money down
AAA
here.
team here. We have the Bisons.
In Maine, it's basketball in the winter and baseball in the spring. That's all anyone cares about.
And summer.
And summer, because you have summer ball playing all the time.
It's just surprising to me because we do have the Jays like an hour and a half away too. It's just like
it might be a population thing. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a good representation of baseball around here. There really isn't.
It's great because, like he said, the Sea Dogs really light up Maine in here. Because I mean,
and you got all of New
there's
England
nothing
for Boston.
Else. Realistically, there's no other major sports in Maine except for the Sea Dogs.
Yeah.
You got the Mariners and the Maine Celtics, but honestly, the Sea Dogs do it the best. They really do.
Well, the Mariners are baseball, right?
No, they're hockey.
I'm thinking of Sanford Mainers. My bad.
Yeah.
But Sammy, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so we walked in there. I think I spent $800 to $1,000. I was pretty in and out of there. I got home. My biggest deal was like a $550 deal the day. I bought a Leo Dave Reese Speckle and a Leo Dave Reese HTA. I think he's a great buy right now. I'm a big Leo guy. So I bought those, bought some other stuff. But unfortunately, the guy had some stuff at his table that I knew he graded. So I wasn't expecting the cards to be clean, but I wasn't expecting them to be chopped. So get home, I do my favorite thing called raw card review. I usually call Colby. We'll look stuff over together and we just chat. And I looked them over and they were absolutely fucked, dude. Fucked. All right, I'll tell you that. There was like slash marks in the back. One of them had.
I remember you sent me pictures, and I was like, "Those things are cooked."
And dude, they were bad. We managed to sell them. Say the condition. I try to be as transparent as possible with that type of stuff. I'm thankful it wasn't on the front. But my buddy, I'm going to shout him out. Rivers Rips. He's a nice guy in the Bowman community. Hey, Rivers been more than kind to me. Rivers a nice guy.
Listen, me and River had a 4-day negotiation that ended up nothing. I'm a little upset at him right now.
Love River though.
He knows I am.
But he made a deal with the guy after I left, so River had my leftovers. That's River. River had my leftovers. Sloppy seconds, River. But basically, River was there talking to the guy after, and this guy was like, "Oh, dude, I gave him such a good deal. I was feeling generous." I'm like, "Dude, I paid you 90% on chopped fucking Bowman." I'm like, one card out of the 15 I bought was clean. I'm just like,
yeah. I feel like that's kind of been like the kind of story right now for Bowman right now, and I don't know if I can blame people because grading has been so prominent lately, and can you blame people or are you blaming like the quality control?
You have to blame quality control. You can't blame the people. I mean, the only way you can blame the people is if they don't disclose major condition issues.
Like that.
That's the only way you can blame the people.
And you know what? These people it's like these people being like, "Oh, dude, I didn't know. I don't grade a lot." Dude, come on. Just shine a light on things. They're scratches or not. Like, I can understand if there's a small dimple, but dude, when you send me a card and it's got 6 print lines and a scratch that looks like it's a signature of someone on it, like, dude, come on. And it's I don't want to call people out. I don't want to be a dick, but like, if I'm buying a $500 card and you say it's clean and it's centered and it comes in and it looks someone just like took a sword to it, like, come on. It's kind of been the theme lately.
Especially when you get up to that 250 plus range. I mean, you expect your cards to be at least a little decent.
That's what I get for not looking at it.
I feel like
we've become too trusting with this.
I know, and I feel bad because I feel like I've made really, really good relationships in the hobby. And I don't want to be like the asshole, but it's like, dude, like I'm getting fucked left and right here. And then I end up dishing like a bulk lot and losing money on this stuff. I always ask, but I get lied to.
You got to
let me ask you something.
Right. We talked about this yesterday. I think that's what you're going to bring up, but my bad. We talked about how fast cards move. I mean, like, as a seller personally, why would you pass on the guy that gives you the offer? Say you have two offers on the table. You have a $300 offer that's asking for condition pictures, and you have another $300 offer not asking, just saying I'll take the card for 300. You're not going to deal with this guy.
obviously.
You're not going to deal with him at all. You're just going to say, "Yeah, take my card." You know, like
I mean, as a buyer, you have to be thorough.
yeah,
You have to ask.
I know, but
let me ask you
sometimes
something.
you have to take that risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do. But so, Simi, now you have to. When you were at the show, let me ask you: is it poor etiquette to pull cards out of, in your opinion? Because I know where I'm at. Is it poor etiquette to pull them? Because I always do.
Unless you're like eating pizza and drinking Gatorade.
Yeah, you need to be very respectful. You need to ask. You need to, just be careful. Hang over a table. It's just like it's general etiquette. Just if you break it, you buy it. Type of thing.
100%.
Yeah.
Know the proper way to do it. You don't just go, "Can I pull it out?"
Yeah.
What's crazy? That
grab some of that.
Oh, I've had people do it, and I'm like, no, give me the card. I'm like, don't touch. I'm like, give me. You know what? The worst is people throwing their case on my display case. This fucking guy.
See, that's a funny thing. Some people care about it.
There's this one guy at a show that throws his case on top of my case and it's a brand new display case and just scratch the shit out of it. I'm like,
what an ass.
I'm like, go. I'm like, get away. I'm like, go. Have some etiquette. Like, have some respect.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's like sweating like crazy and his shirt's like a crop top. I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, please have some etiquette.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I'm not gonna be doing that. If my shirt was a crop top like that, I wouldn't be throwing my stuff around. I try to be a little nice, but clearly you can't do it. You don't understand what's going on. I'm being mean. I'm sorry. I'm being mean.
Hey, no, it makes sense.
Let Simi finish your story.
That's why me and Simi bring broken cases to our shows.
Dude.
Well, I just bought a nice new one.
Yeah. So, did that, came home, sold it. I was on call with Dakota and Colby. And that stuff was flying last night, man. It sold in like a snap of a fingers. I was out without like 3 cards this morning. This morning was a good one. I headed to Dedham, Mass. I had to leave around 5:30 in the morning. I had to go get my Starbucks, dude, before I hit the 130-mile drive to Western Mass. So we hit Dedham, and unfortunately, it wasn't as good as it was last time. There was a big show in Medford, Mass, that probably drew away half the people and most of the Bowman vendors, to be honest. I found this one new guy. We got there. His first table there, first deal of the day. I found that Connor Griffin. I found a Travis Bazana Gold Sapphire, and I found the Zach Veen. That was a fun one, Dakota. This guy, Dakota, messages me last night after I passed out. I opened this at 2 a.m. Find me Zach Veen. I'm like, I marked that down. Go back to bed for my 3 hours. Wake up, go to the show, find you a true blue PSA 10 of Zach Veen. And boy, did that have some weird comps. You know what?
Okay.
I think I could have gotten more. If you look at the
You did well. Listen, you did way better than I thought you were going to do. You did way. Yeah. Like, I know we wanted to do a deal, but
I second that.
I think you did really well, and like I wanted to buy it, but for me to buy it, I would have made $0 on it.
I get it,
absolute zero. But you did. I think for what you bought it for and what you sold it for, I think you did really, really, really well.
You did really well, Sam.
For what I paid for the lot, I'm in around less than 75% on a clean Connor Griffin Green Sapphire auto. It's a no-brainer.
You take that all day.
And honestly, obviously, we know that Zach Veen will most likely make the roster. I don't think it's a secret, especially with the trade of Nolan Jones right now.
Yeah, that's big.
Yeah. That's probably why he's a lock. But if you look at his minor league stats, they weren't like holy shit, unreal. But the way he's playing right now, it's an easy buy and flip, and for you to buy it and get a quick one on it, I think you won. I think you won for sure. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, the thing after I sold it, I was looking. There was a speckle out of 71 comp and a true gold that pretty much caught up to those numbers. But you know what? It was a risky card. I kind of bought it because I think you were still sleeping. So I was like, fuck it, we'll make the play.
No, baby, I slept in very hard.
You know what? We took a gamble, and we made some money on top of it. And
yeah, I think that was
cool.
I mean,
Hey, two in the hands with one in the bush. All right.
Yeah. So so we made a deal at that table, and I did my favorite walk around the show about probably 10 times until I found a couple cards here and there. Probably spent only $1,000 at that show, and so I headed home around noon. Heading home, my buddy called me, said there was a big show in Woburn. I lied, very small show. But within the show, he told me there are these guys. They were looking to cash out. What?
I hate him so much. I'm sorry. Finish your story. Colby's being an ass.
Yeah, fuck you, Colby. All right, so basically, yeah, dude. All right, so
go reset. Sorry, we're playing games. Games.
You're good. You're good. 50-year-old dad and his about 10-year-old son. Ton of Bowman. My buddy helped set me up and said they were looking to sell nice stuff. I mean, like the value I like. I like the $50 to $100 cards. Just keep flipping those. Those are really liquid for me right now. So I liked going there. I probably pulled out about $200 worth of cards there. He didn't really have the higher end stuff like I was hoping, but he had some decent pieces. I pulled him out, made him just the first offer of 80% flat. And so the guy starts telling me the comp value. He's like, I got to be at full comps, man. I'm like, oh, okay. I understand. Like, why is that? Well, I'm selling them on eBay, and if I turn on international shipping, I get more because these guys are Japanese. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like,
that doesn't make any sense.
eBay takes 13%, the time for you to ship it, the taxes you have to pay on it, and just like all the other bullshit with eBay. I'm like, why wouldn't you sell? Why wouldn't you counter 85% and just call it done? Where I would have held out my hand, we would have finished it. And it was just like it was freaking ridiculous.
I know, because that's the one thing at shows that are like nightmares, are especially for like new people. Like, people have to overpay because these guys are like, bro, I don't believe in eBay comps. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's literally what this shit is based on.
Bro, I go by the Beckett handbook.
Dude, I had someone tell me that. And I'm like, that still exists?
We have this old guy at a local show that prices everything off the Beckett handbook, and it's so funny.
Is it the Dementia Man?
Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about, Simi.
He's the man, though.
He is the man. He's a great guy, but he buys everything off the Beckett handbook. It's ridiculous.
I think the best thing was when I went to Causeway last month in Boston. Some guy told me he doesn't believe in auction comps.
Like, huh? Those are the truest comps.
Like, they're fucking comps, dude. Like,
the comps are comps.
They're better than buy it now comps.
Dude, no. I'm not doing this. I hate when people like comp a card. Like, when I buy it, they're like, bro, but it was bin. Shut the fuck up.
Like, someone paid for it. That's what
I don't care. Or they're like, was that auction or bin? I don't know. It's sold. What's the difference? Cut that shit out. And see, that's the pettiness I fucking hate. People are trying to get around something and trying to make like something to deal around. Bro, it's sold. It's sold. Shut up. Like, who gives a shit? Come on. Like, stop it. Yeah. I hate that stuff. I hate that. Can't stand it.
But end of the story, I bought one card off the guy. I kind of bit my tongue walking out of there. Wished him the best. Selling his stuff, as he said. Yeah, we're trying to sell it all. We have too much. No shit, you have too much. You fucking buy it at a high percent and you don't sell it at a reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, you can't buy it 100% and expect to sell at 100%. It's just,
it's one of those things where you just you have to ignore those people. And you can't fix their mistakes. You just got to let them do what they got to do. It's unfortunate, but
they
don't want to listen.
Yeah. What you going to do?
There's always those people. So, All right. It's time for versus section, gentlemen. Time for versus. This is going to be a fun one.
We're going to go piece by piece. So, like, you'll go, Simeon goes, and I'll go.
I'll pick and choose. We'll go along with it. Let's make it smooth like water.
Cool.
Flow.
All right.
First one, obviously, this is one that we're going to talk about. In the light of Christian Campbell making the roster, I think we have to do a little comparisons. Marcelo Mayer versus Christian Campbell. I think both were obviously options. I think probably Mayer kind of fell out of favoritism when Bregman got signed. So this is a tough one, obviously. But Campbell's obviously got picked. But I mean, if you look at these spring stats, I know Campbell was obviously absolutely insane in the minors last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll talk about it real quick. Like, in my opinion, when you signed Bregman, I think that's the point where Christian Campbell goes in the trade block for you. I know everyone's calling you could call me stupid right now or whatever. I just think that he came out of nowhere, right? This kid, and he just kind of blew up. You still have no idea who he is. He still has a very odd swing, very unorthodox. He could be an absolute bust in the majors, and I think the Red Sox should have sold high on him, maybe. Yeah. At this point, Marcelo Mayer and what kind of quality and caliber player he is. I think Campbell's still in limbo when it comes to like kind of what he is. He was insane. I'm not saying he wasn't. The stats speak for themselves, but when you look at spring, Mayer hit 333, home run, 11 ribbies, looks awesome, and it looks great. Mm-hmm. His defense was tad shaky. He made like an error or two. Campbell only hit 167. I mean, he started to heat up towards the end of spring, we see now, but his defense is second to none. We see Christian Campbell's defense is
lights
awesome.
Out.
Absolutely awesome. Looks, and we struggled mightily last year. We had 10, 11 different second basemen last year.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
It's the only reason he's on the squad, really.
Yeah. It was our Achilles heel last year. So obviously we needed some structure, but I still like Marcelo Mayer in this. I'm picking Marcelo Mayer. I think in the long run, Mayer is going to be the bigger, stronger guy. I think he still has to grow into his power. I just like Mayer.
That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at too.
Ahead,
I think the Red Sox should have sold high too on Campbell as well. I mean, he's what, a 7th round pick? Correct?
I don't remember.
Something like that. He was a very low pick, regardless. But I mean, you have a guy that wins minor league player of the year. You don't know. I mean, I'm just basically saying what Dakota said. You don't really know what he is yet. It's just like, the player Mayer is. You've seen him last year was his 3rd year in the minors, 3rd or 4th year in the minors. You know what he is. You know he's a quality player. And it's one of those things you have nothing really invested into Campbell. You could get quality back for a huge question mark in your farm system.
4th round compensation pick.
Yeah,
4th round compensation pick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sim. I knew he was a low pick, but you don't have much into him. You're at least getting who knows what you get for Campbell. I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And actually, when you're looking at hobby prices too, dude, Campbell's surpassing Mayer by a lot.
Yeah, he is.
Like, I think True Blues are almost going for like what, 1,300?
I'm gonna cut you off there. His stuff isn't as clean as Marcelo, though.
No, it's not. Mm-hmm. No. This is something we talked about last night.
Yeah.
Like we said, if you look at Christian Campbell's cards, every single one is pulled to the right. Everything. And you know why? Because when people got these cards, no one knew who he was, so it was just in a pile.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not talking about centering, but like quality. Like, everything was just like everything I bought of him was scratched to shit. No one gave a fuck. I mean, but like, now his stuff is surpassing Mayer and Price. True Blues are doing more, and I don't think it's justified. I don't. Sam, what do you think?
That's a tough one. As a Sox fan and as a guy who's watched them last year, pretty much the whole year, I love them both. I'm gonna have to go overall situationally Campbell right now. I just
for content.
You know what? No. I like a swing.
Oh, he's for real.
I like a swing. Watching it last year, it looks like Walcott's. It's kind of that short little swing that it's up. It's got that lift. That guy didn't hit a ground ball all year, and if he did, it was a line drive at your ankles. And oh fuck, I'm getting out of the way. The guy was lights out. He fills that hole at second, where hopefully Trevor Story gives you that good and healthy year. But in the long run, Yeah, in the long run, I'm a Mayer guy all along. I've been an advocate of him. Remember, all of you clowns who were saying we should trade him for Crochet this year. No, we're keeping Mayer. That was my
No,
move.
I think Teal was the right move there too.
I do. I like Mayer's swing for Fenway. He's a guy who hits. He doesn't hit power, or he doesn't hit far, is what I have to say. And that right field
Yeah.
short porch, whatever you want to call it, that's a good spot. Mayer's gonna lottie dump home runs there. That's
I
just
agree.
what's gonna happen. Mayer
agree.
doesn't hit them. He's not a oppo guy. No, Mayer hits right field all day, and I think he's gonna drop a bunch there when he gets playing in Fenway. I'm a Mayer guy all the way. I think he's got that flow to him.
I have a funny story with me and Simeon. So I'm just gonna drop some little personal information about me and Simeon. Me and Simeon went to high school together, and so if you remember right, I went on vacation in 2023 to Sox spring training camp. Do you remember what I said about Christian Campbell? We were so early on Christian Campbell.
Something about this kid, he's good.
Something about this kid, he's good. I said
now
that.
Now he's gonna say about Tyson Lewis, and he's gonna be right.
I will be right. Watch. I'm a prospect genie, bro. Just trust.
Remember about the Campbell autos that you were holding hostage on me? We got throwing Campbell autos and deals, and we got 2. And Colby was like low-key like harboring one of those until I had to be like, Colby, send me my fucking Campbell auto for my Red Sox PC.
Campbell.
I needed it, dude. It was like a at the time. At the time, it was like a $30 Blue Wave auto, and I was I'm like, dude, I want to keep this so bad. Me and Simeon probably had like six, 7 True Blues between us at one point.
Jesus,
Christ, I miss my True Blue. I dimed. I
sold 3 True Blues for $150 a piece.
You're an idiot.
I know I'm an idiot, but I thought, okay, I paid $60. I'm getting 500.
Yeah, but all right. So I went with Mayer. Colby went with Mayer. Stimmy, you went with Campbell.
He's 50-50. I think.
This year Campbell all the way. When Trevor Story's out, I'm a Marcelo guy all the way.
All right. Move on. We got some 23 draft stuff going on here. So obviously, this is these two guys are obviously very highly touted. I mean, 23 draft was a very loaded product when you come to looking at prices right now. I mean, these guys are absolutely 2 of the biggest guys in the hobby right now, and it's Walker Jenkins and Max Clark.
I love this one.
This is a tough one. It's kind of crazy because they both have very similar stats.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at Walker Jenkins. I won't go by what level and everything else. Do it overall. He did last year. Walker Jenkins at 282, 6 homers, 58 ribbies, 17 stolen bases with an 833 OPS. That's kind of crazy. They only hit 6 home runs. They had 58 ribbies.
How many at bats?
He's a doubles
305. 305. And Max Clark, 420 ABs, 279 average, 9 home runs, 75 ribbies, and 29 stolen bases. So another monster double guy. And he's fast as fuck. 793 OPS. You go, Colby. You start. I'm interested to hear what you got to say.
I mean, okay. From a player standpoint, pure raw baseball wise, I like Walker Jenkins more. I like his frame. He's almost a year younger than Max Clark. He's a lot younger than Max Clark.
Max Clark is actually 3 months younger.
3 months younger? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. But I'm still going to stick with Walker Jenkins. I'm going to stick with what I have. I mean, it's just like I think his ceiling's higher than Clark. But like from a hobby standpoint, it's tough. Like from a hobby standpoint, I have to go with Clark because I think a lot of his stuff is short printed. Like you see his base autos. His base autos are very short printed. His color you barely ever see. I don't think you never see refractor autos. When was the last time you saw a Max Clark refractor auto?
I've seen a couple recently. I had his green Sapphire 10 auto, which I regret selling, but
it doesn't come up as much as Walker Jenkins. You see a Walker Jenkins every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from a player standpoint, I'm taking Walker Jenkins. from a hobby standpoint and value-wise, I'm going Max Clark.
Okay, Simi, how you feel about that?
I wish you asked me first because exactly word for word, that's what I was going to say. You don't see Max's stuff as nearly as often. I agree with Colby. The base autos are short printed. I remember a few months ago I was trying to buy a base auto in a PSA 8, and I couldn't find a comp for the last 4 months. I literally had to ask one of my card ladder buddies, "Hey, can you comp this for me?" Because why the fuck should Bowman guys pay for card ladder for cards that pop every day? It's just, I don't know. Personally,
Card ladder's
I'm not going to do that.
I want to go back to that. So, like,
Yeah,
we talked about parallels. We talked about parallels earlier. There are more Max Clark Sapphire autos than Bowman Draft autos that you see.
Really? Is
I
that in
think
the
so.
pop count?
Personally,
I
I
agree.
see more Sapphire autos than I do normal
I do.
Bowman Draft autos.
Probably
I absolutely agree with that. I feel like, I mean, I think I saw a Max Clark Gold pop a few months ago on Facebook, and I was like, I looked at it like, holy shit, gone in seconds, dude. You know, someone picked that up so fast. I mean, so Sim, where were you at with them?
Yeah, to
Yeah, my
keep
bad.
this short and sweet. No, you're good. I want Max's cards. I've had a couple Walker cards over the past few weeks. Like I moved one to Colby. His stuff's been so all over the place, so wavy the past few weeks. I know he's dealing with the injured ankle. It's just a sprained ankle, everyone. But like I've had a yellow auto that was a fucking brick.
I know. I was trying to buy it yesterday. You're like, don't buy it, don't buy it.
I had a PSA 10 base auto that I bought with a 380 and 340 comp, and then it decided to tank all the way to 280 with like 4 consistent sales. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I did have that speckle auto featured on the last episode. The good story how I got that one. Raws were selling for the same as PSA 10s at that time, so I decided to sell it. I kind of regret it, as it was kind of a free card, but I had car payments coming up. I was getting a car, so I figured car insurance money is more important than a free baseball card. So
I think you're wrong, but fuck no. Those suck. I'd rather go.
How am I going to get to the shows, man?
That's true. So obviously, I've owned multiple cards of these guys. I've had, like I said, the Max Clark Green Sapphire, which I sold for too little because I'm a fucking idiot. And now I told you the story about I bought the Langford on eBay.
Was it purple?
No, it was a sparkle, you motherfucker.
Jenkins.
Jenkins, whatever the hell his name is. Jenkins. I bought his Speckle 10 because I wanted to buy, and this thing ended at 5 a.m. And I actually got it for $150 under comps, most recent. Oh. Except I'm a fucking idiot, and I realized that resets the market because it's eBay. And I reset the market on that card. Like
it's your comp. Just say that. It's your comp.
I bought it at $6.99, which was $100-something under last comp. And then I forgot taxes exist. So I'm in, and then now they're selling for like $650 to $700. So I'm in the hole. Now I have to hold it.
Hey, holding is not the worst thing.
No, it's not. But eBay fucking sucks, and I hate it.
Especially with Walker in his market right now, it's not going to drop anymore.
No, it's
why would
trending?
It drop?
It's trending up right now. I mean, Simeon was talking about that.
One sold at like 580, and then literally the next day 680, 700. Like, I'm not worried about it. I mean, they sold at $1,000. Are they going to do it again? Probably. Like, I'm not worried about it. But for me right now, if you've listened to the podcast, you know what kind of Max Clark hater I've been. I really have. But his springs looked really good this year. And I think his speed is really great. And obviously it wildly surpasses Walker Jenkins. And we've kind of seen Clark is growing into his body. I mean, Walker Jenkins is a grown-ass fucking man. You look at him, you're like, this dude is like 35 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Huge. But the power isn't coming with it. I know he hits a lot of doubles and stuff, but like the power isn't there. Max Clark is kind of showing he's growing to that power. And I think, maybe this is a blasphemous statement, but I think Max Clark is kind of growing into a Bobby Witt build with that swing. I'm kind of favoring Max Clark here. And I'm going against my former beliefs, but like you said, Max Clark stuff is hard to find. You know, there is base autos and stuff, but it's just there when you find them and you get them for a good deal. I should have held my Sapphire auto.
Can we pause and give Max Clark some credit with what he's done on social media, and actually playing like a decent player? Like I'm gonna give Blaze Jordan some crap. Like, guys who are big on social media, sometimes they don't fill those boots, but Max Clark really has. Let's give him his flowers, and he's actually he's actually backing his play and what he portrays himself to be. I think he's a great player. You got to give him that credit.
I want to talk about the Walker Jenkins home run numbers.
Yeah,
for a second. So the thing is, with where Walker Jenkins was playing was where minor league plays. I think it's in Fort Myers. So their Fort Myers is their spring training facility. So his park is a little bit bigger than the rest of them because it's a major league dimension park. So I think that might be a little bit of the reason where we don't see those home run numbers so high as of right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him move up a level if his home run numbers start to rise because the park is that much smaller. I mean, if you look at Fort Myers' park, I think they're the Mighty Muscles. If you look, their park is a pretty big park.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think look at the dude. He's humongous. He is not a small guy. His swing's great. But dude, why aren't you putting out more? You should be putting out way more. His speed is not carrying him in the game. We know that his speed is not plus speed. It's very average. It's just like Marcelo Mayer. That's my gripe with Marcelo Mayer. Like, they're both guys that should be power hitting at their position, and their speed isn't carrying them at that position. So what are you going to be? Are you just going to be a doubles machine? Like, that's my gripe.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know what? Like, it's to the point, like, you aren't a speedy guy and you're not hitting homers.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Max Clark is fast as shit, and he's kind of growing into his own size, and he's putting up big numbers. That's why Bobby Witt is the superstar he is because he's a true five-tool player. And I think Max Clark, if he's a true five-tool player, he's going to be huge. All right. So we got two more. We're going to do two more because we're running out of time here. I want to go with one that's kind of – this is a tough one. I want to go with obviously 24 drafter. I want to go with Bryce Rayner versus Connor.
I love it.
Ooh, tough one.
This is tough. This is so tough for me.
Okay, little one here. Okay, this is one where we're going to talk about, but it's tough because now we finally have some Connor Griffin. We got Connor Griffin spring this year. Okay, we did, and he looked fucking sick.
I think we're going to agree on this one.
I don't.
Bryce Rayner, we still have nothing. We got him playing.
He played a couple spring.
He played a couple games, but
one game, I think.
One interleague game and then one where he played, and it's just you didn't get much of a look. So it's
Colby,
tough.
What were you saying when the draft was coming around? What were you getting all horned up about, guy?
Bryce Rayner. I love Bryce Rayner for one specific reason. He was a two-way. If you remember right, in high school he was a two-way. He pitched I know, but hey,
so was everyone else now.
No, chill out. Because it's just like it's one of those things.
In high school, buddy.
You didn't play in high school, anyway.
I know. That's my point. It doesn't matter.
Well, no, it's one of those things. If hitting works out, I don't know. It's one of those things. If hitting doesn't work out, you always have pitching. You know?
Yeah, tell it to Joey Gallo.
I was about to say.
Fuck you guys.
Reggie Crawford's making it work.
Well, anyway, I wanted the Red Sox to pick Bryce Rayner. That's who I wanted them to pick. And Detroit took him to pick before, and then they took Braden Montgomery, and I was pissed. I was so mad.
Braden Montgomery was a great pick. If we didn't get Crochet,
we didn't even get rid of him. We got rid of him.
If, like I just said, if we wouldn't have got Crochet, I'd be very happy if we still had Braden Montgomery.
I think we have an outfield core for a while.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think we're hurting. Kyle Teal wasn't too happy about, but still. Continue. Colby.
Who's going? you want me to go? Okay. Well, I don't know. It's so tough for me because I love both these guys. For me personally, the Bowman I buy, I don't like guys that are over 21, 22 years old. I just don't, unless they're bona fide superstars in minor league baseball. I like my high school picks. That's the only reason. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I like the high school picks because they have time. They have time to develop. Okay, say they suck for the first 2 years. They're 20 years old. They're not even the same age as the college guys, and they've had that adjustment. I think a huge adjustment for hitters is the metal bat to the wood bat. When you're swinging a metal bat every day and you go to a wood bat every day, it's a huge adjustment. But it's such a toss-up for me because I like both of the guys. I think I'm going to go back to where I was with the Walker Jenkins Matt Clark thing. I like Connor Griffin's raw speed, raw power. I think he can develop 5 tools. From a hobby standpoint, you have to take Bryce Rayner because he's so much cheaper. I think there's just as much potential with Rayner as there is Griffin. The problem is Griffin is cheaper
now after spring.
Griffin is so much more expensive than Rayner. Yeah. I mean, he's like, for a blue, you'd pay $350 for Rayner, a true blue. For a true blue of Connor Griffin, you're paying $800. $800 at the minimum.
If you're calling it like a makeup tier list, made up tier list. I mean, when you're looking at call it like 5 tiers, I think Bryce Rayner was he's like a tier 4 guy. He's like a $40, $50 base auto. Connor Griffin was similar, and Connor Griffin just jumped into tier 2. He's not quite tier 1. Yeah, he's way
up there. What
were
those doing? During their Mellow Peak 50, 60 a piece, like Rayner?
They were about 60, 70, yeah.
60, 70?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I bought Rayner.
They were both there.
Draft came out. I lost money on Rayner. It happens. I don't really care. I lost like $15, $20. I bought Griffins and I sold Griffins. I actually had a Griffin refractor that I bought for like $70 that I ended up waiting. I was just holding it for a minute, and then literally 3 days later, Connor Griffin went off in spring training. They were all of a sudden selling for like $180 or $200. So I mean,
it's a $250, $300 card now.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But Colby, make your choice, man. What are you thinking?
You gotta throw in the hat.
It's tough. No, dude, it's my thinking cap.
Yeah, where's your Tigers hat? Because you're obviously
gonna pick Bryce Rayner. No, dude, I don't know. From it, I'm gonna go back to where I was with Walker Jenkins and Max Clark. Baseball player, Connor Griffin. Hobby standpoint, Bryce Rayner. But if I was gonna pick one, I'm gonna take Bryce Rayner.
Now that you say that, someone just posted Bryce Rayner True Green in the Discord.
How much?
I think I know who it is.
$290. Yeah, $290
True Green.
He's gonna have to hop out the podcast. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop my camera real quick.
Sim, I want to hop in here. I am completely on the opposite. I'm on the opposite side of this.
Boom. Give me 5.
We got other side. This way.
Boom.
I'm on the other side here. I think, I think both guys are a little bit away from the league. I think Bryce Rayner is very away from the league. Bryce Rayner is a great buy right now. If he's going to succeed, he's so damn cheap. But you're going to hold him for a long time right now. And I think Bryce Rayner's prices are going to fall more too. I do. I think they're still going to go down.
A little bit, not much.
A little bit. Not like they're going to be $10 autos, but I think, they'll stay at $40, $50 base autos, but I think his PSA 10s will just kind of level off.
I sold mine as fast as I could.
Yeah.
I sold mine too.
Griffin,
I'll be honest, I don't have any, but I sold it.
Yeah. Connor Griffin's stuff is really high. I'm personally going to wait till it goes down to buy a little bit more, unless I get a deal. But if you own a PSA 10 Connor Griffin right now, especially a low number one, I'm holding. Because look what's happening with the Pirates. They are on this crazy trend. They have, I think they're going to have one of the best rotations of baseball, either this year or next year.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
It's insane. They're going to sign Paul Skenes, and they really need a superstar player. I just think we're, Tamar Johnson's not doing it for them. He's not. And
Yeah, but where do you put Griffin? You have O'Neal Cruz.
Stop it. They have
Third.
three other.
I mean, the thing is, he'll play outfield. I think he'll end up playing outfield.
What about
O'Neal Cruz is in center field.
What about Cabrian Hayes at second?
Yeah.
O'Neal.
Brian Hayes is also terrible. I don't think he's not stopgapped. I just don't think he's stopgap on this roster. And he played so good this spring. If he continues, I think we're going to see him in a Roman Anthony-esque price range.
I like it.
Connor Griffin is humongous, and I think he could be a 5-tool player. I am Connor Griffin.
He's a tall 6'3". Like he's probably almost touching 6'4", realistically.
He is. Yeah. He's listed at 6'4", 225. I looked it up.
Yeah. And his stats are great for his little amount of time. Connor Griffin looks really good, and he's big, and he was a high schooler. Mm-hmm. You know, he's like Walker Jenkins, but he can actually have power. Yeah, I think he's going to be better than Walker Jenkins. I am so Connor Griffin here. I'm so Connor Griffin. Simi.
Yeah, going off that, Dakota, I agree with you 100%. Coming into this one, I was kind of 50-50 with Colby. Like, Connor's the player, but Bryce are the cards. The more I think about it, I think Connor's stuff has just been like better for me personally. Like, I've bought my fair share of both. I bought 2 or 3 Bryce base autos. Sold the ones that are gonna 9, sent the ones I'm gonna gem. Have gemmed one. But I bought a blue wave off Colby. We just sent out together on the 20-day. That one better have 10 because I paid pretty fair on that Colbs. But I've also bought
the shit card.
I appreciate that. You took one for the team, but I think we do Bowman a little differently, where it works out for us both ways. Where you're more comfortable.
I think we all three of us as a group here, I think we all completely different. Like Colby does more of little stuff. I feel like you do that medium range, and I won't even touch that stuff.
I also think about the amount of time we hold our cards. Like I love buying buying, selling. Colby's a little indifferent, and I think you hold a bit more. Than everyone.
I mean, I've had like my Lawler. Because also I go to the Nationals, so like I kind of don't you fucking do this right now.
Lawler's not the guy, man.
Both of you, cut it out. Cut it out. See, if you looked a little more in depth, you'd understand how good he is. Okay? He's playing amazing.
He's so ass. I have the Diamondbacks hat on. He's so bad.
Clip this. Clip this right now. Because when I see you, when we eventually meet in person, both of you. I get to see you in a few months, okay? But don't do that face. When Jordan Lawler is a superstar, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, okay? I think
Simi would kick your ass. I don't think you realize how big Simi is.
I'll take you both on, baby. Look at this.
Dude, I'll tell you what. You don't want to say that to Colby. He's Colby's underage, man. That's
Like I said, when he's of age.
Get that Bowman money, Colbs.
I like Dakota.
Your Lawlers are mine now, bitch.
I like Dakota. I'll let it slide.
Listen, I think Jordan Lawler's gonna be a superstar, but I've held on to my Jordan Lawlers since the National last year.
Fair.
And I don't think when we go to Chicago semi this year, I don't think I'm gonna have much of a problem moving either of them.
Yeah,
I don't.
That's fair.
And his spring training stats are nuts. And I think now that he's healthy, his AAA numbers were nuts last year when he played. And I think he's going to make this team at some point. He's going to explode. Those are easy moves for me. Easy.
But to go back on that versus, I've got to go with Connor all day with cards. I just paid full comps on a true green or a green sapphire auto. I think his stuff is so good, and even the little bit I watched him play, the guy's a hunk of steel, man. He's built for who he is. Like you watch him swing a ball. Is it me, Colbs, or does he look like as solid as Aaron Judge? Like how Judge
Griffin?
is like in there? Yeah.
He's very compact. I know what you're saying.
What I'm saying.
Like his 90 between his forearms and both hands are very compact.
I think his
I
cards
just saw
are
it.
very clean looking, as well as Rayner's. Rayner has a nice photo as well as Connor, but I just think Connor takes it, man. I mean, those yellow color matches with Connor are just so sick. Like I have a yellow
Yes.
sapphire out. I have a yellow sapphire out to PSA. That's gonna gem, and I
No,
bought a
Simi, that thing is so fucking sick, and I'm so jealous you have that.
yeah,
What is
it's
it?
sick. Just a yellow sapphire first
Yeah,
of
non-auto,
Connor.
right? Non-auto.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a true
it's
I had a
amazing.
true yellow. I had a true yellow auto of Connor. Dude, those color matches are so sick compared to a true blue.
Especially
Bryce.
because
I'm sorry.
Pittsburgh card shows are massive. Like massive. I actually
Yeah.
we're trying to get into this one. I was telling you guys last night. There's a card show
Mhm.
in Pittsburgh at like an abandoned mall that's they don't
Yeah.
do, and they go throughout the whole mall. And they have like two floor Macy's apparently that they have tables in 400 plus tables in this mall, and I heard it's the most insane show, like insane. I'm trying to vend at it and stuff.
Mhm.
I need to get into it, but Griffin, I think we're all choosing Griffin here.
Last thing.
Yep.
This is I'm planting a seed for you guys to do in your next show. Discuss sapphire selections. I bought a orange Connor Griffin sapphire
No.
selections on Saturday. Really,
Yep.
those are really pretty cards, man. That's
Yeah, they are.
I'm planting a seed for you guys next show.
Well, you know you may just be on that show. We'll see. We might get back Colby.
That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Right?
All
Hey,
right,
if you
last
kick me
one.
off, I deserve
Simi,
it.
you're well spoken, man. You're doing great.
Yeah, you're
I
doing
appreciate
great.
it, guys.
Last one. We got to make it quick. We're really running out of time, and we're gonna talk forever on this one because this one's huge.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we're all on the same page, though.
It's a no-brainer.
You are super fucking wrong on that.
Oh.
Time to grill Dakota.
Yeah. So obviously we got the spring training big hero, I guess. We got Jack Caglione versus Nick Kurtz. And listen, before we talk about this, I have both. And they're at Rick's house right now. They just got back from PSA. I have the purple. I have more investment in Cags than I do of Kurtz. Okay.
You
I'm
can
just
go,
putting this
Dakota.
out there.
Just rant.
This I have more investment. So I have the purple Kurtz 10 that I just gemmed. I have the base Kurtz 10, not Kurtz, purple Cags, purple base Cags, and I have a gold Kurtz that just gemmed. All auto Bowman first. Okay. This is where I'm at. Okay. Cags looks fucking insane in spring. Okay. I watched him a ton when he was at Florida last year. He was absolute. Don't fucking say that. Listen, Cags was absolutely amazing. Okay. He looks so good in spring. My issue is the bat to ball. Okay. He tore up spring training. Okay. He hit 4 home runs, 500. He was great. Okay. His bat to ball skills scare me. Okay. I'm not saying power.
Did you see the bat to ball and all those home runs he fucking smoked?
I'm not saying.
That's like Colby.
I'm not saying power.
He wished he was me.
Oh, get your face out of the screen. Jesus. I'm not saying power. I'm saying pure contact ability. And I think when he hits the league,
I'm gonna grill the shit out of you.
I just think Cags is gonna be could he be a 280 guy? Yes. He could be a 280 40 home run guy. I hope he is. I think he's awesome. But there's still the possibility with his bat to ball, especially because he did it in the minors. He hit 241 in high A last year. I mean, 29 games I got. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a big sample size, but 29 games in high A, 241 batting average, 2 homers. Yeah. And he hit 26 Ks, 7 walks in that time.
Dakota.
But his spring was amazing. Okay. I'm not done ranting. I'm going.
He's hitting 500. Yeah. He's hitting 500
in spring. It's a spring.
I don't care.
Look at
the ball.
Look at the fall league stats too.
Okay.
He's still putting the bat on the ball.
Here.
If you're hitting 500.
Kurtz. Okay. Kurtz had also very little time. He had only 12 games last year. Okay. But in his minor leagues. In low A, 4 homers, 400 average. Okay. I'm not saying anything. But he looked well. He looked really good. Moves up to double A. He skipped high A immediately. 5 games, home run, 300 average. And dude, look at this, okay? In his small time in low A, he had 10 walks to 7 strikeouts. His contact ability was amazing. In Double A, 2 walks to 3 strikeouts. I know it's a very small sample size, but then we get to spring this year, 261, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 974 OPS. Okay. This, and again, this is purely speculation for all of us. We have very small sample sizes, okay? Cags is obviously the front runner in this argument, okay? But when I'm looking at first baseman, we know what kind of power these guys got. It's not like neither of these guys have power. They're both fucking humongous, okay? They're both lefty batters. They're honestly, I mean, Kurtz has a better glove than Cags. But
That's
when you
first
look
base,
at,
though.
yeah, okay, don't you do that. I'm a first baseman, bitch. Don't you do that.
I was a first baseman too.
Don't do that. I am going with Nick Kurtz.
Terrible. Hate it.
Fine. I have more invested in Cags.
I'd love to go.
Listen,
I just want to watch Colby just talk.
I'm not done yet. Okay. So, and you're looking at a hobby perspective right now and who to invest in. You're not investing in Cags right now.
I agree with you there.
Okay. I'm talking about yes, longevity. Okay. Yes, longevity. Okay. But if right now, in my perspective, and we can't disagree with this, I have the most to lose or gain in this situation, but in all of us, right? I have 2 Cags autos and I have 1 big Kurtz auto.
Yeah.
I'm always in this thought process around these guys. Right now, I'm selling my Cags and I'm keeping my Kurtz. And I think Kurtz is going to be better in the long run because I think Kurtz is going to be a Paul Goldschmidt-esque type of player. He's going to hit 30-plus home runs and possibly hit 300. This is like, technically, this could be he could be a Triple Crown candidate. I'm
going to build off that.
Go.
I don't see Kurtz cards for sale on Facebook or anywhere.
No, you don't.
I see Cags stuff for sale, but I don't see Kurtz. I agree. I think Kurtz is undervalued, but I mean Jack's the player, man. I'm sorry, but Jack's the guy.
When you but what I'm saying is that like he not struggled, but I just think he's gonna be this guy who's gonna hit 260 with 30 plus home runs, which is not bad. But it's Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso's a top 10 first
Pete
baseman.
Alonso cards sell better than Paul Goldschmidt's cards.
Which I think it's a recency bias thing. But Paul Goldschmidt is one of the best first basemen we've seen in the last 20 years, and it's not even close.
And he gets no hobby love.
And he gets no hobby love.
None.
For me, he does.
I saw a first Bowman auto of Goldie today, and I passed over it. I don't know if that's
sent me it.
I don't know if I was dumb saying that, but I'm just like, why would I touch that? It's just
because it's sick.
I gotta go. I have to. I'm
go.
just itching.
Listen, he's gonna chew his arm off. He's like, no, I need to go.
I am too. The thing is, who gives a fuck about bat to ball when you hit the ball 120 miles an hour? You just have to sniff the fucking thing. You don't even have
Tell
to
that to Joey Gallo. Tell that to Joey Gallo.
Tell that to Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo doesn't hit the ball like Jack Caglione.
Joey Gallo had like the highest exit velos the last 30 years.
No, he doesn't. He's not even in the top 10. No, he's not.
Wrong. Dude, go look at Joey Gallo hits the ball harder than anyone I've ever seen.
Not Giancarlo Stanton.
Them two maybe are together. But here's
O'Neal Cruz.
The same thing. Stan's the same thing. 2 great examples. Guess what? Where's the average?
Okay. But from a hobby standpoint, who gives a shit about average when you hit the ball?
And who the fuck gives a shit about Stanton in the hobby now?
No one does.
Exactly.
The only reason Jack Caglione is as expensive as he is because he's hitting 500 with 3 nukes in 40 at-bats.
4 nukes. Okay.
4. And okay, I'm even underselling
it. It's spring training though. What's going to happen to Cags in a month if he hits 200 in Double-A?
I'm buying it. That's what's happening.
I'm not buying a guy that's going to hit
the hobby lives off power.
Not if the guy hits 220.
The hobby lives off power.
Accolades.
Honestly, Nick Kurtz. All Nick Kurtz is going to be is another Tristan Casas.
Mm-hmm. See, now I'm going to fight you.
Nick Kurtz is another Tristan Casas when it comes to the hobby. Jack Caglione is that dude.
Tristan Casas also hits the ball harder than anyone I've ever seen.
How about thinking about this? What about their development systems? I mean, I'm kind of trying to think about.
Oh yeah,
I think the A's develop prospects better overall, but Kansas City has done a great job developing Pasquantino. I mean,
Yeah, but
think
and then
if they get
then
their
we got to
hands on a
look at
guy like
this.
Cags.
Then we got to look at this success. Both teams are on a great trajectory. You know, it's not. I'm not saying Jack Cagliano's gonna be a bust, but
Yeah.
the contact scares the shit out of me. Nick Kurt's contact is second to none, in my opinion. I think Nick Kurtz could be a 320 average hitting first baseman. And then when you make contact with the ball, the power follows along when you're that big. Okay. Cags destroys the ball. But I think I'm just so scared about his average. Okay. And I want to look at a very overall player. Okay. When I'm spending this much money on a card, like a $1,500 Nick Kurtz gold auto or a purple Cags Bowman first auto, I got to see who's the better overall player. And I truly think glove, contact, and maybe not as much power, but I think Kurtz takes it for me.
I'll give you the contact, but I think Caglione people just love Cags. People are never going to give Nick Kurtz the love that Cags has.
I think you're damn wrong.
This is me not following it as much. What's up with Cags pitching? Is that done? Is that dead?
Gone.
I don't think.
There's 100 though. There's 100.
You never know. If he gets successful at hitting, becomes a superstar, they might not rule out him being a reliever.
I mean, the Royals are in such a better place. Didn't they have like two guys who were competing for the Cy Young last year?
Yeah, Cole Reagan,
and they signed him to a fat extension.
Yeah, I mean,
who's the other old guy?
I don't know.
Lugo? Seth Lugo?
Seth Lugo.
Waka?
Seth Lugo.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Seth Lugo.
But let's finalize it. I'm picking Kurt. Simi, who are you going with?
Cags all the way.
Cags. Colby.
I don't even have to say. You guys already know.
It's Cags. He's a clown. But
I'm a clown.
I'll give it to you, Dakota. You backed your point.
You have a point.
You
have a point.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like to. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm very passionate.
I'd rather buy and hold Kurt's cards though.
Yeah,
100%.
But all right, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks for listening to episode 5. I think it was a great versus episode. I'm glad we got to argue in it. Semi, thanks for coming on, buddy. We're gonna have you.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course, Colby. I'm gonna fight you when you're of age. When you're of age. Oh boy. All right.
Love you too.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later.